What's up? So we got week 1, day 1. We're starting off with our hypertrophy day. So we got our posterior chain, which is the back half of our body. So we're gonna be starting off with our first superset. So we have deadlifts straight into hip thrusts. So you'll see 1A, 1B, that just means it's a superset. And then we're gonna be going for 3 sets of 12. We're gonna be going for 3 sets of 12 on everything this first week. Make sure to check back on week 3 when we repeat this, but we'll have different sets and different reps and things like that. So deadlifts, hip thrust, this is gonna be glutes, hamstrings, back. We're gonna then be hitting primarily targeting the glutes. We're gonna be resting from anywhere from 45 seconds to 60 seconds. So make sure that you're timing yourself on those rests. If you need to take a little bit longer, it's fine, but try to stick to those as much as possible. After we get done with that first pair, then we're gonna be moving into our dumbbell neutral grip row and chin-ups. Again, we're gonna be hitting some of the lats, the teres major, the rear part of our delt, and then with the chin-ups, we're gonna be hitting our lats and our biceps a little bit more. So we're getting that full back, both vertical or horizontal and vertical pushing, vertical, horizontal pulling, vertical pulling. Then after we get those 2 main supersets done, then we're gonna move into slider hamstring curls, and I'll show you some modifications if you don't have a slider with you. And then we're gonna move on to dumbbell single arm row. Again, 3 sets of 12. We're resting 60 seconds for all the accessory movements here. And then finally, capping it off with some of our mid-trap, mid-back, and our rear delts to finish the entire body, or entire back half for 3 sets of 12 for 60 seconds rest in between. And now I'm gonna go show you guys the demonstration and walk you through all of that. First superset that we're gonna be doing for synergistic muscle groups together and our hamstrings and our glutes is gonna be the deadlifts and the hip thrusts. So for the deadlifts, what you wanna just do real quick is you wanna make sure your feet are lined up about shoulder width apart. We're gonna be doing a conventional deadlift. Now, after you get your shoulder or your feet shoulder width apart, I want you to put the bar next to, like right in line on top of your shoelaces. So you're gonna be thinking of almost like dragging that bar straight up your body, up those shins. So from here, it's real simple. It doesn't need to get overcomplicated. You're just gonna push your hips back like that hinge pattern that we've talked about. So push those hips back, nice athletic position. Usually I like to put my hands on my knees. As you can see, is try to make as straight as line as possible for my shins going up to all the way up to my shoulders. So get your back flat, everything's in a line, and then from here I just slide my hands down. I'm sliding my hands down, and I grab the bar just outside my shins. And then from here is where I'm gonna then start to drive up and pull through. So when we are pulling that weight up, I like to really keep it super simple, not overcomplicated. You're here, you're down, screw your hands in, really grab that bar super tight, back's nice and tight, abs are locked in, and then think of you're just pressing, almost like you're doing like a leg press, pressing up, and at the same time, when you get to right about the knees, that's when you're doing a hip like hike, or you're driving your hips through like a hip thrust, which you'll see soon. So here's what it looks like. So the athletic position, everything's in a line, sliding my hands on down, grabbing that bar, and when I'm setting my back, I'm trying to tighten it so much that I could literally like lift it up off the floor. That's how tight and how retracted my shoulder blades I'm trying to get with it. Now, am I actually gonna lift it off the ground like I did? No, but that's what you're trying to mimic. So I'm here, everything's tight, and then I'm driving up, keeping it close to my body, hips through, abs are tight, I'm not going past vertical, and then I'm reversing the motion and back down. So it's here, drive up, squeezing the glutes to bring it on through, and then back down. Now notice as I'm doing that deadlift, I'm keeping a neutral spine. A lot of people are gonna wanna come here. No, pretend you have a neck brace on, and you cannot move your neck like you have a metal rod going through your back. So you're gonna do your reps with the deadlift, and then you can get on a box, a bench, a couch, whatever you have available to you. If you have a pad, that's awesome. If not, you can use any sort of padding, a sweatshirt, a couple t-shirts, whatever you have available. So you'll put the pad right here, and then you'll roll the bar up on you for hip thrusts. So put it right at that crease. What I like to do with my back on those hip thrusts is I like to put the bottom part of my shoulder blade right at the corner of it, because our body's gonna act as a hinge. So top of my shoulders here, here's my butt, and then my feet, and we're gonna go down and up. Okay, so get those feet close to you as possible. Get your shoulder blades on, drive through. Again, keeping your abs tight. We don't wanna unlock the back. And then drive up through the heels. Squeeze as high and as hard as you possibly can, like you're a tabletop. And then from this position, you don't want to tuck your hips underneath you and create a big arch in your spine. You want to keep your core tight, your back straight, and you hinge down. Drive up, press through the heels, come down. I like to try to almost keep my toes up off the ground, like I'm dorsiflexing super hard, because that's going to force me to drive through my heels and use my hamstrings and my glutes, rather than pressing off my toes, which gets more quad engagement. We don't want that. You're gonna light your calves up. So, back and forth, right into one another, deadlifts into hip thrust. Your deadlift weight is gonna be the limiting factor for this. You're gonna go through your sets, your reps, and then you're gonna take your rest. Now, after we're done with that, we're gonna move into our neutral row, so neutral grip row. And then we're gonna move into chin-ups. So neutral grip row, I like to place my hand on a box, a bench, a dumbbell rack, whatever you have available. Get a nice staggered stance, about shoulder width apart. I think of whatever toe is back or whatever foot is back, doing toe to heel. Super simple. And then hand firmly placed on the bench. Again, core's tight, abs tight. We're not rocking, we're not rolling, anything like that. Here, rowing up, squeezing our lat as hard as possible. So, drawing that elbow to your hip pocket. I don't want to see this, because that's using traps, that's using all the muscles that we don't want. We want to draw up and back to our hip pocket with that elbow. So you're going to do your sets on each side, or your reps on each side, so boom, right arm, left arm. Then you're gonna move right into chin-ups. So, we're gonna move into chin-ups. You can use a pull-up assisted band to help you with it to complete all the reps. Or, if you don't have a pull-up bar or anything like that, you can simply create the same effect by hinging over, palms up, pulling through, and making sure that you're getting enough tension to make it challenging for yourself. So, for the chin-up, say you're gonna do band assisted. You're gonna get up here, get your arms about shoulder width apart. From here, you're gonna dead hang, retract the shoulder blades all the way up and down. Now, that is your two main lifts, your main hypertrophy supersets that you're gonna be doing. After that, we're gonna move into slider hamstring curls. So, sliders, furniture movers, whatever you have. It can be a piece of cardboard. It can literally be a piece of cloth on a hardwood floor, or just socks on carpet. This is a gym floor, so these aren't really gonna slide a whole lot. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay down, here we go, you're gonna lay down flat on the floor. So the sliders or the cardboard or whatever it is gonna be underneath my heels. I'm gonna press my heels into whatever material it is. Hands at about a 45-degree, drive up through the heels, so you can see just pushing down my heels, lifting my glutes off the floor. From here, what you would do is you would start to slide, and as you start to slide, you're keeping your hips up. So as your foot continues to come forward, your hips are staying up. What we don't want to see is just this, and our glutes are not staying active. So, pretend I have these under me, so it's here, hips are up, driving through, and then going back down with that. If that is too hard, what you can do is you can slide them up close to your body, drive your glutes up, and then slowly go down eccentrically to complete the lift and the exercise. So, after you get done with those, take some rest. Then we're gonna move back over to the dumbbells for some wide grip rows. So neutral rows here, wide, we are actually going to be coming out and slightly rotating, and that is going to hit our lat and our lower lat a lot more rather than some of the upper musculature in our back. So for these, you can either do them squared off, kind of in a three-point stance with your hand placed, or you can put one knee down, one arm down, grab the weight here. I personally prefer the three-point kind of stance, squared off. So we're here, pick the weight up, and then I'm drawing my elbow out wide. I'm drawing it out nice and wide, and then I'm rotating, and I'm pinching my lat as hard as I possibly can when I'm up. Go lighter at first with these, and then work your way up to heavier and heavier weight. So it's here, out wide, come down. Out wide, come down. Now, if you only have like 10, 15 pound dumbbells, what you can do is you can actually grab a band, one of the bands that you have, you can attach it underneath the bench or the box or anything that's weighted down, loop it around the dumbbell, and then that will give you the added resistance that you need. And then finally, to cap off the rear delts, what we're gonna do, have some lighter dumbbells or just the band, doesn't matter, you can do the same thing, is we're gonna do some bent over reverse flies. So, hinge position, here, but back's nice and flat. Again, drawing our elbows out nice and wide, squeezing at the top and coming down. So you can either do them with your thumbs pointed forward, or you can do them thumbs here. Both are gonna work the back of your shoulders. Figure out which one really works them better for you. So just a couple pointers with that last one. It's really all about coming out, squeezing at the top, and then controlling the weight. We don't want to be doing any of this. If you're doing so much of trying to fly, you're doing a weight that is too heavy. And try to keep yourself at a 45-degree angle. Try not to come way up here, because what that's gonna do is that's gonna get us up into that trap again, and we don't want that. So that's it for the hypertrophy day 1. Let's go kick some ass, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.